The Police Minister Bheki Cele has now arrived in Umlazi in Durban. This follows the gunning down of 11 people in 2 separate incidents. The police say that the motive behind the shootings, for the latest on this, I'm joined by Karinda Jagmohan. Karinda, a very good afternoon to you. The Police Minister has been long awaited and has now arrived in Umlazi. Highlight for us the main objectives of his visit and what he aims to achieve.
We all know that Umlazi has been the bloody scene for almost a week now, where 6 people lost their lives here, including a young boy of 14, and we'll be going to W, where 5 people lost their lives. And you would know that among those people that lost their lives here are women, young women. So I hope it doesn't become a trend in KZN that where people die, you find young women dying together on those scenes. The investigation is going on. The provincial commissioner is here. It's led by Minister Cele, who will be here on the scene soon. Unfortunately, nobody has been found, but especially on this scene, we've got a good lead. We hope that even 72 hours have come and passed, but we've got a good lead. The kind of people that were murdered here, they do give us a little bit of trouble, because themselves, some of them that were profiled don't give us a very clean record on their own lives. So there are innocent people, especially like women, and the 14-year-old boy that was killed here seems to be very much innocent, wrong place, wrong time. But others, they would have had some link with some things that are not very good. Originally, they came from following people that are here, are not originally from this place. And maybe it would be enough for now, but as I've said, that we have a lead, quite a strong lead here, that we believe in the shortest possible time we'll be able to find the answer why they were killed and who killed them. As I'm saying, that we have a lead, maybe we're not going to be giving out our leads now, who are going to be following and all that kind of stuff. So that's the reason. But it's something that must come to an end, and as the police, we are working hard to find those people that murdered these people. But clearly, we'll need a broader cleaning when it comes to crime. As I've said, that themselves, they would not look like people that have been very much having a very clean and happy record when it comes to issues of crime, especially 3 of them that were murdered here. So police will be working hard on both sides of those that were murdered and those that were murdered people here. But our first prize is to get those that murder and kill people here.
All right, Minister, you are also going to be visiting as you mentioned, the other section of Umlazi. Maybe touch on what we know about that case as well.
Again, that one has got some issues around it. At least one person that was killed there was almost a party celebrating and receiving that person who's supposed to have been coming from correctional services, that person. So that tells you that what kind of maybe of group of people that were there. This person profiled, who has been just a new release and was celebrated, has got a very, very long record of bad things. One funny thing about it is that he has been sentenced almost 3 times, and those years accumulated has become 12 years, but all suspended. That's something that in the investigation going forward, police will have to find out. What kind of a person this one that you are giving 12 years and all those years for serious things, possession of unlicensed firearm, robbery, possession of illegal ammunition and all those. And a long list of withdrawn house robbery and all that. So it's that kind of a person that was surrounded by those people, that 5 of them that were there. Maybe our leads there are there, but not strong as this one. We have 3 people that were there that are in hospital. Unfortunately, at the present moment, they're quite sick. They can't talk, but police will be talking. But there are community members who have come forward. Maybe one can begin to thank those community members who have come forward and say they can help going forward. So it's an issue that is not a very clear cut and dry issues of murder vis-a-vis the people that committed murder, whom we must get, but also we must pursue the issue of the deceased and find out why some of them will be still outside and why those that were there celebrating a person that was coming out of prison.
All right, Minister. 11 people have perished, as you know. Let's open up the floor to some questions. I'll take some hands.
Maybe our customers have increased in Phoenix. There are 54. Okay. There are 54 people arrested in Phoenix now. 54. Well, there are 54 people arrested in Phoenix, according to about the murders that were happening there. One of them, or few of them, including those that are appearing in court, they've got about 6 counts of murder each. So it's a number 56, and is really increasing. So the team that is doing the work in Phoenix is doing a very good work to be able to arrest those people that kill. There are continuing investigations, are continuing on both the individuals that kill people there and the companies that are still under investigation that could have abused their right of trading there. So the police here are doing a good work. That's why we are very hopeful that this team, because the team that is dealing with these 2 cases is the team that is dealing with the cases of Phoenix. So it's a team that we believe will do the good job.
All right, that's the very latest, ladies and gentlemen, from the Phoenix front. Let's take some questions. Karinda, I see your hand. Mr. Makanya, and let's have one more. Okay, go ahead, Karinda.
Newzroom Afrika, you said that the suspects here were involved in bad things. Would you be able to expand on that? And then, is there going to be any protection given to those who are assisting police, like the community members and those in hospital?
Well, those are in hospital. Police will be working with them. Unfortunately, they can't talk now. We're told they're very much serious. There will have to be a reason why they would have been protected. But for now, just the members of community that are giving information. If they become some form of witnesses and all that, we'll have to work on that one as time comes.
And what bad things were the deceased here involved?
House robbery is one of the main things, especially with that person who was celebrated from prison in the W section, and even here, 3 of those guys, we believe that they were here because they were hiding from following. And when you look at things, there would be the same things: house robberies, house breaking, and such issues, and sometimes the abuse of attempted abuse and abuse of women and all that.
All right, FCBC.
Mhlambe ngiqale ngalokhu kwesibili. Siqale sakhuluma provincial commissioner is here. Sahamba sayobheka isimo sesiteshi saseMlazi. Njengomuntu ofikayo naye la ekhaya, ezinye zezinto ekuzofanele siyilungise. Mhlambe let's admit ukuthi sine weak point because lesa stage cishe sishoda ngamaphoyisa awu-28 isiteshi sasemlas shoda amaphoyisa awu-28 station command uya-act, ama-deputy aka-act and all that is one thing that we need to really fix and fix it fast ukuthi isiteshi sibe nama-members anele abantu abasebenza khona kuba abantu aba-permanent kube nemoto ezanele about now 21 zemoto zakhona zise-garage which means abakwazi ukupatrola ngendlela eyanele. So siyethemba ukuthi isiteshi masifanelisa kahle everything that is supposed to be at the station, that will increase the safety of the community. Yes, the issue of drugs does come up, that it could have been the issue of territory that the people were contesting and fighting over. But as the police, you need to say those things when the investigation has come up and that investigation is continuing.
All right, our last question before Zulu.
When we work as a cluster, really we can't come here and begin to blame one another. But as I said, it's an issue that we need to look at very strongly. Why a person will get 12 years and all suspended for serious things like having an unlicensed firearm. Having an unlicensed firearm is not having a flower vase. You're not going to have that gun for fun. You're having that gun for things and all that. As I'm saying, if you can see the long list of this guy and things that he has been involved, definitely, if you ask me, I wonder like you do, why is he outside? He's not in prison. But those are the things that is no use to come here and cry about. We need to go back to the cluster, deal with, take on board all other involved ministers, especially the Minister of Justice, to say there are issues and work on the system. We know for sure. He was telling me that the regional commissioner of the correctional service was saying, I can see you're busy bringing more. I don't know where to keep them. So, which means we need to deal with the system as a whole and make sure that innocent South Africans are still safe. Our system must be still sharp. Those that arrest must arrest. Those that sentence people must still sentence people and find the way of dealing with the matter. But the prime thing and the first prize is that South African must be safe, and because we are sweeping off all dirty people and all rotten apples out of the community.
All right, Minister. The very last request from our colleagues in the media. Oh, is there one? Yes.
Excuse me, just listening.
If I'm understanding you correctly, does that mean, number one, we're dealing with the two separate cases and not looking at maybe the same suspects being involved in both? And then number two, in terms of motive, does that mean that police are looking at the fact that possibly from here, this house and the other crime scene, that there was suspects involved in the sense of the people who were staying there, and that it could be in terms like a hit, or is that where we're going with this?
No doubt about it. Police have profiled those people. So from that angle of them being profiled, here is a question of a fact that, especially this thing, 3 of those people were involved in unsavory and wrong things. That is a fact through the profile. On the other one, this we're talking about, this guy who was being celebrated because was released from prison, is a fact that he has been involved in such things, including him having been sentenced to 12 years and all 12 years suspended. So it's an issue of, it could be, as somebody among yours have said, that maybe the community got fed up about that person. So we can't rule anything. We can't rule that it was a hit, it was a revenge. But ours is not that. Ours is to find who killed the people, because whether it's a revenge, whether it's what, the person was killed. And the job of the police is to find the killers. Yes, on the things that were profiled, we still have to follow those things with the people that were around those people, especially those that survive are in hospitals. Those investigations will be gone. But that does not make the police less enthusiastic to find out who killed these people.
On that note, Minister, just what you had said, Mrs. Zulu.
Well, there you have it, Tommy, the police minister speaking about the arrests that have been made, or rather the murders that we have seen in this area. He's actually here outside the area where 6 people were killed. My colleague Spodiseni and Gubanda, we're just going to actually show you the houses where this happened. Tommy, what we hear so far is that these are the people, the deceased, are alleged criminals as well. One of them was apparently facing a 12-year sentence that was suspended, and he had been celebrating following his release from jail when he was murdered. This is one house where the murders happened. Spodiseni is just going to go inside and give you some visuals of, the scenes that happened here. Apparently this is where some were shot dead. This is the Umlazi U section that we're in, and you can see, the mess that has been left behind. People seemingly trying to use this, to take cover. There's a number of residences here or houses here where the deceased were shot. Now, the police minister says no arrests have been made as yet. They're still investigating, but that he does believe that this was rivalry between 2 criminal gangs in the area. This is what the police have been saying over the past week since we have heard of what has happened here. And in the meantime as well, also giving us an update with regards to investigations into the killings that we saw in Phoenix, saying now 54 people are facing various charges relating to the incidents there. So the police minister just giving an update on basically what has happened so far in this province with regards to the major incidents we're seeing where people have been killed. Here's another room, the 3rd room where this happened. Sadly, innocent bystanders were also killed. A 14-year-old boy and 2 women were among the deceased. This is just some of the scenes here. I understand police have cleared up some or most of the scenes, but this is just the remnants of what has happened here. After this, the minister will visit the next location where 5 others were shot dead on Tuesday night. Now, we understand that the people that had been killed here in Umlazi were not necessarily from the Umlazi area. They were living nearby, but had fled here for safety, and it appears that there was some sort of fights that occurred between these 2 rival gangs, and that is why these shootouts happened. But still, police have more questions than answers, and they're yet to make arrests with regards to the massacres that we have seen in Umlazi.
And we are finding out about these 2 separate locations. Does there seem to be any sort of link between these 2 as yet, or are they completely separate incidents?
At this point, police are still investigating, and they'll have to really link those 2. But it seems like in both cases, both the deceased in both cases were involved in criminal activities, and that is why they say this seemingly is rivalry between criminal gangs operating in this area. Among the alleged crimes that took place regarding the crimes that the deceased had undertaken, where the police minister said house robberies, carjacking, among various other crimes, possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. These were some of the charges, or at least convictions, on the list or behind the names of the deceased after police did background checks on them. So it seems like here it was really criminal gangs coming to each other, and this sort of scenes unfolding. But in the meanwhile, I mean, when we take a look around this area, one of the major issues is that there are community members living here, young people, and for them, they may still be living in fear because, they were not aware that this was happening in their very own community.
Karinda Jagmohan, thank you very much for that update. We'll continue keeping tabs on yourself as well as the Minister of Police as he makes his way to the second location. That's our Karinda Jagmohan in Umlazi.